tonight, all of it, man. Your initial observations from this game. And first, real fast, update on, was there anything with Joel Embiid and the rib?
Well, considering Joel Embiid was out of the locker room before the locker room even opened, we did not exactly get a lot of answers on him tonight. And there was a question to VJ and Kelly at the podium just now about, what does it say about Joel that he hit that big shot down the stretch after grimacing, grabbing at the rib, not playing for a good chunk of the fourth, and he got a long defense from VJ saying he could barely lift his arm, blah, 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 and he really wants to be out there. Joel's great. The media doesn't understand him, et cetera, et cetera. So no news, but at least one passionate defense from one of his teammates.
Yeah, I can't believe there's no real update. I mean, I can.
I was going to say, you understand the franchise.
I'm disappointed, but not
right?
surprised, I guess is the way that I would phrase that as we go dad mode. I guess just overall, obviously, outside of shaming his parents for not being there, what did Tyrese have to say in reflection of setting the franchise record?
Yes, I think it was very typical. Tyrese, he thanked Doc Rivers, he thanked Nick Nurse, he thanked Joel Embiid, saying, these are all the people that believed in me, shouted out to Philadelphia fans, so that they've been a big part of his success. I think his teammates were probably as excited, if not more excited, as he was. VJ actually joked just now. He's like, it's making it harder for me to break the record, but gonna try. So in good spirits. I think mostly he was focused on had to get the win tonight. And it was funny. There was an anecdote we heard it from Nick Nurse, and then Maxey confirmed this, that I guess in the Indiana game, Tyrese went into that game completely unaware that he was that close to the record. And then he hits the 2 early threes, and Trendon Watford makes a comment to the effect of, hey, you might be able to get that record tonight. And Tyrese goes, what record? I have 8 points. And then it's in his head the rest of the game, and he misses every single three the rest of the game. So there was a bit of a full circle, maybe some poetic justice type moment that Trendon got the assist on the shot that eventually was the record breaker tonight. So he was ready to get it out of his system and out of the way in the first quarter. Thankfully, he did. Frankly, he didn't contribute a lot on offense for long stretches of this game otherwise. Like, second quarter was mostly VJ and Joel. And then the third quarter, at the end of it, was when Maxey had a big push there at the end to keep them out in front. But incredible job by him. I think because I got into an argument with somebody tonight, like, there should be a different record for guys after a certain year. It's like, you understand. He just did that in like 500 fewer attempts than Allen Iverson did it for the Sixers. So tremendous achievement, and I hope that he can, double or triple this record by the time it's all said and done.
Kyle, we also talked, you mentioned VJ Edgecombe, upset that now it's going to make it harder for him to catch that record. But the way that he's playing after the All-Star break, tonight, the poise down the stretch, the 7 points, and the mid-range shots, we discussed it a little bit. That being on your end of the floor, especially in the second half, again, tremendous work by him as he continues to get better and better at game number 54 and what he's able to do in these crunch time situations looking like a veteran.
Yeah, and Maxey shouted him out for the zone as usual. This is no surprise to anyone who's watched the Sixers Heat game in the last 10 years. The zone gave them a lot of problems in the second half. They played a lot more of it. And Maxey specifically shouted VJ out for remembering you are indeed allowed by basketball rules to drive against the zone. That is a thing that you can do. So instead of playing the side-to-side, pass the ball around the perimeter type game, VJ took the onus and said, I'm going to get to the paint, or I'm going to get around the paint. They had a lot of rim protection waiting down there between Bam and Khalil Ware and some of the help defense they can play there. In fact, there were even possessions when Joel was in the game, second half, where they would have Hawk as more matched up with Joel, Bam as the backline defender. And so that you're crowding the paint there. It's very difficult to get all the way to the rim. And VJ's success as a mid-range guy has been just unbelievable to watch coming out of the All-Star break.
Yeah.
Maxey said too tonight, I asked him, like, when did you guys know or feel that you could trust this kid in big moments in fourth quarters? And he looked at me and he's like, I think it was the first game. You're in Boston and he's hitting big shots, making big plays under the bright lights. They go to MSG and he has 2 different big games in New York and a place where a lot of bright lights, a lot of big celebrities, a lot of attention is on you. So at every turn, he has met the challenge of the season. And after it looked like he was just kind of dead in the water there for a little bit, scoring the ball, he is back in a big way out of the All-Star break.
He took a pretty hard fall there in the first half too. Did he mention anything post-game about any ill effects from that?
No, in fact, he was singing, or I guess rapping, I guess I would say, in the not just the locker room post-game, but after the podium. I didn't recognize the song without any kind of instrumentation, but Miami was mentioned in it. Okay. So I think there was a little bit of a celebratory vibe, given that they just beat the Heat. So I will circle back, of course, but did not hear anything from him to suggest he's hurting.
Disappointed that it wasn't one of Kelly Oubre's new singles, that he wasn't,
Devon, do I have a story to share with you? Kelly was asked about his music tonight at the podium. I will post the footage shortly because Kelly and VJ did their post-game media together, and VJ was just cracking up the whole time Kelly's getting asked about this. He got asked, like, how have your teammates received it? And Kelly's long answer was essentially like, no, my focus is on basketball first. I am clearly not a rapper. I'm a producer. I like to make beats, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, but I'm glad everybody has found the Paul Walker line funny because it was meant to be funny, referencing the one lyric in one of his songs. And then he clarified, so I'm not remembering this lyric off the top of my head, but I believe he clarified and said that the one line involving Vin Diesel was about wanting his abs and not a different body part that sounds close to abs.
All right.
So we had a bit of a chuckle fest here after the game with Kelly about that. It was a lot of good spirits tonight after a good win.